Hello, this is our group's pitch video for the electric shoe. So, imagine every day you take a step. You're exerting force and creating friction as you walk. And you're basically converting your mechanical energy, or the energy with your movement, into other forms of energy. But that energy rarely gets used, and you don't get anything back for it. Imagine if we can use that mechanical energy for electricity. So, here I have an example. So, imagining this is a shoe, even though it's a slipper. So, imagine this back part is the heel. So, this little indentation that goes upwards. So, like, think of it as reverse. So, this is the heel of the shoe, and this is the front of the shoe. So, in the back of the shoe, there's usually sort of like a curve upwards, so it can make it easier for people to run. So this indentation, or like the highest point in the heel, can be used to our advantage. So using this piece right here, it's gonna fit into the indentation of the slipper, and basically this part is called the cup, and this part is the axle, and it has indentations, which I will explain the use of later. So this cup is going to be touching the ground basically. So every time you walk, you're going to rotate the cup, and that's going to rotate the axle with it. So on the slipper, it's going to go into the highest part of the shoe, which is in the heel. And once it goes there, it's going to have another one on the other side, and they're both going to connect to each other. And as and as this rotates, it's going to be in contact with a motor. So basically this motor, it's obviously going to be, our actual example is going to be bigger than the motor I have before you right now. But basically the idea is there's going to be a bigger motor, and as you can see, there's a little indentations on this as well. And those indentations are supposed to, interact with the indentations on this axle part. And basically, as this axle rotates, it's going to rotate this motor, which inside has a magnet, which is surrounded by coil. And as the magnet rotates, it's going to convert the mechanical energy from your movement, or the rotation of this, into electrical energy through what's called a magnetic flux. And basically that's used in a lot of con- a lot of machines that convert mechanical energy into electrical energies, like generators and all of that. So this is going to connect directly to a battery, but not directly. It's going to be used through alternating current. So basically it's going to do this sort of. So this wire is going to go into this this battery right here, and also go into the USB port. So let me explain this over here. So this is the bottom part of the shoe. So as this is the heel, and this is the front of the shoe. So the heel is gonna have the little axle part, and it's gonna go into the shoe, and it's gonna interact with the motor right here. So in the middle of the shoe, there's usually like a curve inwards, and basically we're gonna fit the magnet, no, I mean the battery into the center of the shoe, or the little inwards curved part of the shoe, so we can, because as the shoe goes forward to the front of the shoe, more and more space from like the elevated, like it's gonna lower the space as it goes from the highest part to the lower part. So basically, going to the side view again, as you can see, if this is the heel of the shoe, it goes up to its highest point, still in the heel, and then slowly lowers downwards where there's nothing left. So we have to use our space wisely. So basically, we'll use this part for the battery, and then that's going to connect to the USB port. So basically, on the bottom part, there's going to be indentation. So the front part of the shoe has a little rectangular indentation with a little cover, sort of. So there's an issue. that usually happens. So suppose we have a USB part in the top of the shoe to take out energy from this rotating and then this converting. So the battery is going to be connected to the USB port over here in the front, in the indented part of the shoe. And basically, as you walk, mud and other debris might get into it. So in order to combat that, we've created a cover sort of with a magnetic piece to lock it in place, and then you can open it too. And there's going to be a USB as well as a switch. So if you're not actually using it, then it's going to go straight to the battery. And the battery is obviously going to be like at least 12 volts of like space. So once it reaches maximum amount of capacity, the colors. So basically, there's gonna be LED lighting surrounding the part over here, the cup basically, and the LED lighting is gonna stay green when it has space and is charging. And it's gonna turn red if there's no more space left. And the another thing I'd like to talk about is the cup part. It's gonna be smaller than this because the cup part has to be on the outside. So if this is really big, it's gonna ruin it's gonna ruin the shoe, and you wouldn't be able to use it anymore. So we're gonna lower how much this moves outwards. So like we'll cut off half of this, and we'll add treads on it so it actually spins more. And as well as that, we have to add friction. So if this is too loose, it won't really work that well, and it wouldn't move the motor as well. So basically we'll make this we'll add a little bit of friction on it so then it's not too loose, and altogether it'll generate electricity effectively, and it's going to create renewable energy. So overall, the pros of this system are whenever you're in a hurry or you need battery, whenever suppose your phone ran out of battery and you're stuck out somewhere and you need your phone to get your way back home or to your hotel or something like that, like you're in the wild and you need to use your phone but you have no more battery left, then you can basically use the battery from this electric shoe and then you can charge your phone. It'll have two USB ports so you can charge two devices at a time. We're lowering the amount of USB ports on there because like we're working with little to no space, and we don't want to hamper on the user's experience of the shoe as well, because like it has to work as a shoe, and like this is meant for running shoes, and running shoes you run in them. So like if this is too wide, then it's gonna make it hard to run in them, and if it's too heavy, it's gonna make it hard to run as well. So there's a lot of issues. So that's why we're lowering the amount of components in the system so it's simple yet effective. So basically, overall, the pros, you can get it. I think the system is good. It provides a renewable source of energy, and given the amount of people who walk daily and the amount of walking they do in their lifetimes, I overall think this is a good way to get energy and help the environment overall. So I hope you enjoyed my presentation and hope you take time to look into this.